This episode is presented to you by DraftKings. The crown is yours. Welcome back, all the smoke. Excited about this one today. Obviously, one of my brothers known him for a long time. We still actually play a little pickup ball from here to there at the district. Man, one of the fastest first steps in NBA history. Kid you not. But I think what I love most about this dude is the father side, how much emphasis he puts in on being a dad and being a present dad. And obviously that's what I respect a lot. But man, welcome to the show, Cuttino Mobley.
My man. Appreciate you.
This is long overdue, bro. We literally hang out, and I've been doing this show for 5 years. just how long have I been doing the show? I've done your show, but we finally caught up, and to have you come sit down, man. How's everything going?
Good, man. Life is really good, man. I'm loving it, man. I was just talking to my son. We were driving in the car here. I was just telling him about just how life works and what true happiness is, things like that. And, the older I get, the more kind of content I become, right? Mm-hmm. And all material things, but yet also like the simplicity of life. And if you think about it, right, like it's basketball, like the great ones master the fundamentals. Right, the simplicity. Mm-hmm. Kobe, Jordan, a lot of those guys. And I think that's the same method you should take when you live in life.
No, I agree. I mean, you think in the midst of it, we're making a bunch of money and doing whatever we want, but I just turned 45 last month, and I've never been more at peace and just appreciating things and just kind of understanding life.
Yeah, real.
It's real.
It's super real, man.
You used to have a spot out here in L.A., right? What was it called?
Restaurant or club?
What was it? Was it a restaurant or club? It was both?
Yeah, we had everything.
It was popping, though.
We had the beach house.
Yeah. You had
the beach house on Sundays was cracking.
You used to have a lot of festivities in the L.A. area. I mean, what was that like, and where did that idea come from? Because like you were the one person like, hey, what's going on? Like you would be able to line people up with a good time.
The great thing about that was just meeting different, I guess, walks of life, right? Coming from Philadelphia and then moving, to all these different states, whether it was college or pro or whatever it was, and then finally landing in L.A., I felt at home, right? And I felt more at peace when I was closer to the ocean. That was just something I learned in my life, right? The older age, at 30 years old. But it was so much fun gathering people together and seeing the happiness on them, right? And then if I can, orchestrate all these things where, listen, we're going to do dinner now, and then we're going to do this later, and we're going to do this. And on Sundays, we have co-ed football, and we're going to, it's all the food you can eat, and, just different games, and whether it's like a casino royale that was in our backyard on Sundays. And, I mean, you had over, 400 people in that joint, right? Paul, KG, like everybody was coming to it, and it was just different games and different situations and different pockets within the home on the beach that people actually gravitated to. And me personally, especially during that time of my life, I love to bring everybody together and everybody to be happy.
That's dope. Fatherhood, what's that journey been like for you?
Yeah, what's crazy about fatherhood, brother, is that it's your teacher, like your children, your teacher, right? And whatever it is that you don't like about yourself or you fear in life, they'll show you quickly. Whether it's commitment, whether it's patience. I have 3 boys, and then I have my daughter, and I talk to her differently than I talk to my boys. But then also too is I have to walk that walk, right? Because children actually don't listen to you; they watch you. So the more I do, the more, like my oldest boy is here with me now. He wakes up super early. He'll be grabbing a book and he's working on his life and things. It's like he's watched those things, right? So it's not for me to push him to do those things. He gravitated into it. And then, it's being a father, and of course we've never been mothers, but being a father to me is a hard position because of the stigma of how men are supposed to process their feelings, but yet still get things done, right? And I've learned the older I get, the more I should tell you how I feel right away. So if I can get that out now it's up to you to understand how this environment should go, right? Because what I'm doing is I'm teaching myself boundaries. And when we were younger, we didn't ever have no boundaries, right? So you get yourself into situations because you hold your tongue or your emotions and things like that. And I've learned if I can just speak it quickly, I get it out the way fast. And now you know what I know. It's not you reading my mind.
Is this in terms of being a father?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just off the rip.
But yeah, because you have to talk to your children like that, right?
No, you have to. I don't think you can sugarcoat. The one thing about the twins is they're 16 now, and I used to kind of always tease real conversations that I knew were coming down the line. You know what I mean? I remember the first time they saw me smoking. I think they were like 8 years old, and I put them to sleep, and they saw me down by the pool, looking out their window. The next day, they're like, "Dad, we saw you smoking cigarettes." I'm like, "Oh shit, what you mean you saw me?" Like, "We saw you by the pool." I was like, "Do I lie to them? Do I tell them the truth?" And I'm like, "No, actually, Dad, it was a joint." They're like, "Well, what's a joint?"
Right.
I'm like, "Oh shit." I'm like, "Well, you know how Daddy's knees and back, and I'm sore all the time. So instead of drinking alcohol or taking a painkiller that makes my stomach hurt, I'll smoke a joint, and it helps the pain go away and it helps me sleep." And they're like, "Oh, okay." And then one of the Carter's like, "Well, I just sprained my ankle. When can I smoke?" Like, you know what I mean? So again, teasing a conversation that I know, like at 16 now, like they know that their dad smokes, but we've had conversations about what to do and don't, and and where they're at in their life. And I think to your point, I had a lot of friends that were protected up until they got their freedom, and then once they got their freedom, they went crazy. So my whole thing is like, let's give them the crumbs they need to be prepared for, like you said, life. Like you said, you look at it as a game, but life is a game. To prepare them in that manner too. So I definitely agree. You can't hold your son.
And so what's funny is when you say that, we literally just had this conversation in the car, and I believe in making mistakes as fast as you can, right? Or doing things. Listen, I don't condone hard drugs. I don't condone those type of things. Now, if you do it, it's your journey. Now, hopefully you do it when you get older. Now, if you do it when you get older, of course, even when you're younger, there's consequences, right? My dad used to tell me when I was younger, you can make all the mistakes you want. You just don't get to choose the consequences. Consequences are there. That's just what it is. But we were having this conversation in the car, my son and I, and I've been more acceptable of it's okay to make these mistakes, or say if you want to shop and you get a lot of money, you just want to start buying stuff. Sooner or later, it'll become boring, right? Do as much as you can now, get it out the way, so then now later on in life, you won't be a prisoner to that feeling.
Yeah, learn it.
And that's what I believe in.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Both AAU dads, I don't think it's any secret that the system is broken.
Oh, God.
Much
Crazy.
different from when we came up, and even when we were coming up, it was still predatorial, but now it's just fucking insane.
Crazy.
What are your thoughts on it? Because obviously Miles is playing it, and the twins are playing it, but what are your thoughts on it currently?
So when I'm watching it, it's I would say 90-something% of the coaches don't know what they're doing. Right? And again, no disrespect to them, but you don't even have to take a test to be able to be a coach. Right? It's like we've played this game and was coached by some of the best. So we've been battle tested when it comes to that. A lot of these coaches, and some of them are fathers just wanting to stay close to their kids or whatever it is, moms, whatever, want to close to their kids, and I understand that. But the expectations of the parent is delusional to me.
That's crazy. It's
right? Like you're not even working out during the week. You may practice once or twice during the week. Is that an organized practice on your strengths? And then when the weekend comes, you're going to let your son, daughter shoot or dribble in a game like this when during the week they didn't even practice that. That to me is mind-boggling. I have no clue on how do you become successful in those type of, right?
You don't.
Draw up plays, and why did you run this play, and how do you talk to the kids when things happen? Like they're not prepared for those things.
I think it's less about teaching and more about winning. You know what I mean? They want to win, and at the end of the day, it's kind of obviously you want to win, but that's why I got in this space. Like I've been teaching since I've been in this space, teaching how do you play in space, how do you play without the ball in your hands, and I feel like that's a deeper conversation. You're seeing all these over the water kids come in knowing how to play basketball as a team. I think we're so locked in on putting your head down and how many times can you cross someone over that we forget the real aspects of the game, the cutting, the screening, the flaring, the slipping, the pick and roll. Like, so it's just like I've been teaching kids in this space, and I agree. Probably about 90% of these motherfuckers don't know what they're doing.
They don't know shit, man.
And then the parents on top of it are crazy. You couldn't tell no parent in the gym or their child that they're not going to the league. Like everyone in that, I'm there. Good. Okay. But
I forget who I was talking to, and I was saying that they should ban kids from training with so-called pro trainers. Because the sense of entitlement. Like, you think because Matt Barnes, Cuttino Mobley, whoever it is that were a pro, and they're training with this person, all of a sudden when you train and you do the same, well, first of all, you shouldn't even be doing pro moves. Because grade school, high school, even in college, you don't have that much spacing. Mm-hmm. So you should learn to master the fundamentals as fast as possible. And foremost. Right? I don't know why you're doing the triple step back, crossover here, behind your back, Kyrie Irving. Mm-hmm. For what reason? You're not even going to get the ball that much. No. Right? So it's just, it's mind-boggling to me that kids are able to train with pros or with a pro trainer, and then all of a sudden, oh, I'm just as good as you. I'm gonna get like that. No, that's not how this one works, Pop. No, it don't work like that. Just because I hang around Warren Buffett don't mean I'm gonna be a billionaire.
Nah, right? For real. Literally, that's the same shit. Philly upbringing. Tell us a little bit about that, and when did you find basketball?
Yeah, that was crazy, man. You know, so I was blessed with 4 parents, right? Okay. Stepfather, stepmother, mom, dad. And I said that if anything my parents got right was picking the right step-parents for me.
Second time around.
Yeah, man, okay. Because they loved me like I was theirs. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man, I never went through life where I questioned if they loved me or not. You know what I'm saying? My stepfather loved me to the T. Like Rasheed Wallace, to tell you, Alvin Wayne, all of them, he made sure everybody was good all the time. You know what I'm saying? And the love that he showed me and then the love my dad showed me is like, I want to be like them men, right? I want to be like them or better. And, you know, growing up in North Philadelphia, of course it's rough, you fight and you do all this stuff, but I started boxing early. It was boxing, then it was football. And then from football, I said, you know, I'm starting in high school in football, and I can't even play freshman in basketball because I never played. I picked up a basketball at 13, 14 years old, right? So I didn't know how to play basketball, and it was hard for me, right? And my ego, you know, drove me to become better, but it was a struggle early, right? So my freshman year, they had freshman, JV, and varsity. My freshman year, I made the freshman team. I don't know why they did it, but they put me on the freshman team. I didn't play 1 minute, bro, until the end of the season, and I got in the game, and I had 4 fouls in 2 minutes. Like, I was just crashing, dummy. I was crashing into people. It was just, you know, just being a football player and a boxer. It was like frustration, you know, not knowing that things is going so fast. And then I said to myself, I love this sport so much. And my stepfather was like, listen, if you love it, you need to really focus on it. You need to watch film. You need to train. You need to practice. You need to do this. And then my sophomore year, I started to get better. But I didn't play varsity until my senior year.
Really?
Yeah.
How old were you as a freshman?
I was 14.
Back in the day, the normal age. But the age you're supposed to be at as a freshman.
I was 14. I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
I used to get my ass, boy, man, these kids, these guys that were older than me playing varsity, they would beat me one-on-one so bad every single time. I used to cry. Like, I'm like a sophomore, like, I can't get this. This is crazy. Like, I literally didn't know what to do. And then I got bigger and stronger and faster. And then before you know it, now I'm beating them consistently. And then it grew from there. But, you know, growing up in Philadelphia, you know, on top of basketball, because that kept me out of trouble. Because as soon as you leave the gym, you know, you got to get on the bus. This shit happened. This things is going on, all that type of stuff. But I was very blessed to have Alvin Williams, Rasheed Wallace, Jason Lawson, a lot of those guys. My cousin Kamal Yard, Kaida Williams. Like, I used to have really solid individuals around me. And it kept me from doing stupid stuff because my older brother is serving 3 lifetimes. You know what I'm saying? My dad's a 2-striker. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like going to see my uncle in jail at a very young age, I was like, I don't want to be here, dog. This is smaller than my room. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was thinking like that at a young age where it wasn't cool to do those things, you know? And my uncle was always telling me that, too, while he was in prison. He's like, I can't wait to get out. And it's funny because when he got out, I was in Orlando. And, you know, you're in a gated community, and I ain't even know this. When you're in a gated community and a felon comes in, everyone has to know it. So I had to tell everybody that my uncle, he served 23 years. What did he for? A murder. But he was the coolest thing to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just a moment in my life where it's like, wow, this is crazy. Like, you know, this man getting out and he's changed his whole life. He passed away some years after that, but just to be in jail for so long on a mistake of emotions, you know what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of us, I was telling my son that too, just like we men, if you can't control your emotions, you're in trouble.
First and foremost, I had to learn the hard way a few times. Rasheed, you mentioned he's a little bit older than you?
Yeah, same age.
Same age?
Yeah.
What was Rasheed like back then?
Same.
Same.
She was the same as he is now. You know what's crazy about she that people don't know is he's better. Like, you watch him in the pros, she was super talented. But he could have been a superstar if he wanted to. He just grew up differently. He grew up where he was a team guy, right? Ellaby, the coach, taught him the right way. Like LeBron when he first came in, he was getting,
too unselfish.
Like if he's open, pass it to him. If this is give it to him. This get him open. Like, she was that type of person, and I think that's just a personality trait, right? It's just hard to be. There's a good selfish and there's a bad selfish, right? He had that good selfishness about him, where he knew how to play and make everybody around him that much better, right? Because he was number 1 8th grader, number 1 12th grader, number 1.
He was always nice.
He was number 1 in everything. He never was number 1. He was never number 2, 3, 4. He was always number 1.
That's crazy.
And you never saw that in him.
Really? Okay.
Like, he was always
Same
everybody,
dude,
just
yeah.
all of us, bringing everybody together, even on the court.
That's dope.
He was like that, man.
Kobe is a couple years younger than you?
Yeah. Cool.
Any run-ins with him in the high school time or out in Philly hooping?
Yeah, well, in Philly hooping, yeah, but never high school.
Okay.
Kobe was in I forget it was like a private, kind of like what Notre Dame and like Sierra Can are now. He was in like that type of league.
Okay.
I was in the Catholic league, and then she was in the public league.
Okay.
So we didn't play each
Gotcha.
other. 1 and 2 is I was already 3 years older, 4 years older
okay.
than Kobe. So Kobe is your age, around.
No, he's 2 years older than me.
2 years old. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So Kobe 47. Watching him, we were younger. So this one time we was at St. Joe's, right, and we used to work out at St. Joe's University. Gym. And after a while, he would not work out with us. He would go into the other part, and then it was a smaller gym, and it was like a little window. And he would tape the window and lock the door.
So you guys couldn't see?
So we couldn't see what he was doing.
By himself?
By himself. By himself, bro. And I used to sit there and then when I got to the pros, because he's always encouraging me, like, yo, kill, be aggressive. He used to always tell me that. And then after a while, I started getting better and better and better. And like, I would notice when I was about to play him because we would stop talking for that week. We wouldn't talk for that week. And then after I finished playing him, then he'd go back to talking. And I started to understand that after like my end of my first year, my second year started, and I would ask him, about the family and everything like that. And it was very short, right? It was like very short. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. Fraternizing. Got you. Okay. We're not friends today. Got you. All right. And then it's just worked from there. Yeah.
You end up choosing Rhode Island. Was that your first choice, or you ever consider going anywhere else?
You know what? No, man. So I went to Maine Central Institute, and it was top in the country. I think when I first got there, Sam Cassell went there, Karan Butler went there. So we were top in the country, and we had at the time, it was Rick Pitino and Thompson and everybody coming to watch us, right? And I had big schools. right? Temple at the time. Temple was ranked top 5 at the time. I think they were about to play Michigan in the tournament, and Kentucky and all these schools. And I was actually scared to go to those schools because in my brain I was like, well, I'm either going to sit or am I good enough? Like it was an imposter syndrome for me, because I came from Catholic League in Philadelphia, even though at that time it was a lot of pros I was playing around, but we didn't know we were pros, right? So there was a bit of fear and imposter syndrome in me. I wasn't a cocky kid. I was scared. So my fear got me better, right? So once I'm playing now and I'm leading our team and we're topping the nation in prep school, my confidence got better, but I didn't get cocky. I was just still scared, right? So I was living off of fear, basically, right? And then my boy Sean Colson, who was with me at Maine Central Institute, he was more cockier, more confident with himself and everything, and he was a really good player. He was like, yo, let's be big fish in a little pond. And I'm like, all right, I mean, where you want to go? He's like, let's go to Rhode Island. A-10, they fourth, back at that time, it was like the fourth best conference, fourth best conference in the nation. So I'm like, all right. He said, yeah, we can, build them up. I'm like, all right. Like, I didn't know nothing about nothing. I'm like, all right, let's go. It's my guy from home. We're both at MCI, so let's do that. So that's how Rhode Island came about. And then he left, actually, when Tyson Wheeler, they recruited Tyson Wheeler also. He left, and then the rest is history with me and Tyson became my best friend, in college, and we made that little run.
Jim Harrick.
I love him so much. Jim Harrick was the best, man. It's crazy as I think of now. I think of all the NIL deals and the dinners and all the stuff that people are going through now, and it's like that man he was my oracle in college, man. Let me tell you one story. We playing Murray State, and we beat them convincingly. So now we watching Paul Pearson them, Kansas. They number 1 in the country. We watching them play Prairie View. Paul, all of them, they jumping around and acting all silly. And then I'm standing with Coach, and he was like, "You want to go to the NBA?" I said, "Yeah, of course." He's like, "I need 30. I need a W and 30 on them." I said, "I got you, Coach, no problem." And we played Paul and them. It was back and forth, but it was a great game, and we beat them. And that's my first time really interacting with Paul, because after the game, you'll see me like when he lost and he was like kneeling down. At first, I felt sad, and then after a couple of weeks, I'm like, "You getting drafted? I don't know what you're sad about. You about to be a millionaire." You know what I'm saying? But Coach Harrick, he didn't talk basketball though. He talked about life. Like he, made you read certain books and, be a good man, and you're gonna at this moment in time in your life, there's gonna be certain obstacles, get over them quick. Like all these different little, stories he would give us, and I gravitated to him the most because that's just how I thought.
You ended up scoring 30? Or you guys just won?
The 30, yeah.
Scored 32.
Yeah.
And you beat him.
Yeah.
Knocked him out the tournament.
Yeah. Got him out of there.
He said got him out of there.
Got him out of there.
4-year player, second-round pick. Yeah. You're there. What are your first thoughts?
You know what's so funny? So we had a little party at my crib, and I was living in Mount Airy. Shout out to Mount Airy. So I was living in Mount Airy at the time, and all the family members came over, what have you, and I thought that the San Antonio Spurs was going to pick me at 20. I think they had 24. If my memory serves me correctly, because they were like, "We're going to get you at 24," and they picked Felipe Lopez. And I'm like, damn. So now I'm scared, right? So Alvin there with me, like all my boys are there with me, whatever. I'm like, damn, man, I'm nervous now. What if I don't get picked? Oh my God, this is crazy. Boom. Second round comes. 31, 32, 33, and I'm like, Matt, I'm scared as hell now. You already know how that is, right? It's a commercial. I go outside, walk down the street, I come back, I sit on my bed, I'm looking at the TV, and it's, during the commercial, Houston Rockets select Cuttino Mobley, number 41. Man,
you saw it on the bottom line?
Bottom line. I jumped all the way down the flight of steps, ran outside, ran all the way down the street, dog. I was crying. It was the best feeling in the world. And then that's when Scottie Pippen and Rudy Tomjanovich hit me.
So there's a story involving a childhood wallet and a phone call from Scottie. Like, break that down.
Yeah. So manifestation is real. I believe it, bro. Whatever you're scared of, and I teach people this now and in my journey and what I do in life coaching. But I had Scottie Pippen and Eddie Jones's basketball cards in my wallet, and I used to always keep them because they were my favorite because they did so much. Eddie was a close friend of mine because he went to Temple, but I just loved the way he played because he was a 3-level scorer. And then Scottie, not even knowing Scottie, just watching how he played the game of basketball, he did everything. Mm-hmm. And I love that. So I get a phone call, and it's Rudy and Scottie, and I'm like, this is unbelievable. Not knowing about manifestation yet. Just not even in my wheelhouse at the moment. But then I look back at it and I'm like, wow, everything I think of, everything I write down, everything I believe in, everything I visualize will happen in my life. So then I tried my best to control that destiny a lot more from there. But Scottie was like, you ready? And I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. He's like, all right, I'll see you in a minute. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. I couldn't even believe it. I kept my jersey on. I slept in my jersey for like 3 or 4 days. I swear, dog.
But this team's loaded, though. This is Scottie, Barkley, Hakeem.
Not really loaded, dog.
They were old. With legends.
Yeah,
Legends.
For a fact.
Yeah, older legends.
For a fact.
That completely changes just your whole trajectory, kind of, having vets like that. Like the league, I feel like the league misses, and I don't even know what they did for you, but I'm saying you have like some legendary vets on that team.
So, all right, so this may seem corny, right? It's just how I am in life, but when it comes to this, first of all, I must have did something really well, really good in the past life. Because not only did I have an amazing 4 parents, right? That there was no beating, no molestation, no nothing. There was a lot of love. And of course I grew up tough, but still, right, there was a lot of that. But then my career, where you come into your rookie year, listen to this, man. You come in your rookie year and you have arguably the best 3-man at the time ever, next to Larry Bird. You have arguably the best 4 ever, next to Karl Malone at that time before Tim Duncan, is Charles Barkley. And then arguably one of the top 3 best centers ever in Hakeem Olajuwon on your team. So God is saying, okay, you're going to learn from all 3 of them what to do and what not to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then your very first game you ever play, you have a game winner, top of the key 3-pointer. Like, come on, dog.
That's dope.
Like, what are we doing here, right? Like, 8 billion people, and this is what you give me? Okay, I appreciate you. I'm going to try my best to do what I can.
What up, y'all? I teamed up with DraftKings, and they got something new cooking for you guys. The Pick 6 Stat Slice just dropped. It's a fresh way to give you a better shot at hitting your picks and cashing out on DraftKings Pick 6. Every Wednesday this summer, Pick 6 slice down one player stat line to give you yet a better shot at hitting your pick. It's the perfect way to try and nail your pick set. There's no opt-in, no catch. It's simple. Just open the app, snag your slice, and lock in. There's a new player every week, but the slice is only hot for a limited time, so you better not sleep on it. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app today for new special customer offers. And while you're doing it, don't forget to use my code SMOKE. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Tell me a little bit about Dream.
Dream, that's my guy. Dream would sit in the back, bro, on a plane and do a lot of like practicing, like I think it was Arabic. He would practice Arabic. Charles and all of them. It was like, you know, when you're on a plane, it's like that 4-seat thing where it's like 4
table?
Seats, yeah, and they gamble,
gambling table.
yeah, gambling table, whatever. I would sit. This was my chair, and this was Dream chair right next to mine, but it was like a
space between.
Space, and then he was on the other side. And Dream, to me, was the most calming individual, very to himself, but yet very aware of what's going on outside. Knowing that Charles and Scottie and all of them are gambling, or knowing that this person is doing this, but he stayed in his own world. And if you wanted to come in his world, he'd teach you. So I asked Dream, like, yo, what do you read? Oh, you want to know? Come on, I got you, young fella. Come on. and he would teach me a little bit of this, teach me a
Dope.
little bit of that. Then, but I was younger. I'm like, Dream, I can't be that disciplined right now. I like girls too much, man. I'm tripping. You tripping, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that religion ain't good for me right now.
Right now,
I
right.
can't do that one. You got it, champ. But he used to, like, I just went to Houston not too long ago, and we traded books. I gave him books to read, he gave me some books to read, you know, things like that. But Dream was always my guy, man. He was, you know, again, the message was, when I went to the Rockets, was this is how you present yourself as a man, Dream. This is how you train as a pro, Scottie. And this is what you should not do, Chuck.
Tell me about Chuck. I love to hear it. That's
Oh,
funny.
my God. Listen, I love them all. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
used to carry this little brown beat-up bag, and he had money in the bag. It's like a duffel, not even a duffel
Who
bag.
did? Chuck?
Chuck.
Uh-huh.
He had money in the bag. And they would let me hang with them, right? And it was a privilege, right? I kept my mouth shut. You chill out. And not that it was like bad stuff, but it's just like when you're a rookie, don't talk.
Stay in your lane.
Just be a fly on the wall. Chill out. You don't even enter. I don't care if they ask you a question. Keep it short. Shut up. That kind of thing, right? Whereas a lot of kids now, they want to talk more, act like they're a
times.
part of it. You know what I mean? But Chuck, I love Chuck, man. If it wasn't for Chuck, you know, and Scottie, you know, and Dream, like I wouldn't be where I'm at. But Chuck was just he was a people's person, always like that. He would sit at a bar and talk to everybody, and you know, just be friendly and things like that. And you know, he was about principle too. You can't just say anything because he might toss you over the bar or bust in your head. Like Charles was that type of guy, right? But it was a lot of, the older I get, you put yourself in situations to react, right? Or not. And he would put himself in those situations where Dream, more conservative, chilling, don't want no problems, so he stay away from even anything that would try to give him a problem. You know what I'm saying? So I learned from all three of them in that short period of time, but Chuck is a very loving, like just good dude, man. He's such a good dude. And I just love watching him now, still to this day. It's just funny to watch. You know what I'm saying? Pip. No tipping Pippen. Scottie, man. First of all, if it wasn't for Scottie Pippen, no one would know Cuttino Mobley. I promise to God. Promise to God. He, from the very beginning, was like, you got to play him. Now, Matt, now y'all know this. It's 6 contracts ahead of me. It's guaranteed contracts ahead of me. My rookie year. Never played point guard before. Put him in the game. Let him play. Now,
Who's the coach?
Rudy
Rudy T?
Tomjanovich. But also, too, is God, that's Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson like big guards. So if you can bring the ball up, all I want you to do is bring the ball up. That's all I want you to do. Don't get ripped. Bring the ball up, make a 3, stay out the way. That's your job your first year. And if Scottie liked small guards, I probably would never have been known. But he liked bigger guards, right? So see how it lined up for me?
Yeah, it's
and all I
crazy.
had to do was just take advantage of it. So I did that. But Scottie was practice at 10. Scottie's in there like 7 lifting. I'm in there with him, just learning how to be a pro. What I should eat before, what I should eat afterwards, right? Getting shots up after the practice. Like he taught me how to do those because sometimes Dream was on like a fast. Charles may not even come to practice. You know what I'm saying? And it bumped heads with Scottie because he don't come from that.
Yeah.
So he was looking at Charles like, yo, dog,
He's
what are you
supposed to be here
doing? Like
with
we're
me, right?
total opposite. It's kind of like Kobe and Shaq at the time, right? It's like you can be the most dominant if you take care of you and be more disciplined. You know, I don't know Shaq and Kobe's actual interaction when it came to that, but it's kind of that similar kind of thing.
And there was can you feel it? Can you feel the beef between them two?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, especially when it came to games that we could win with just them, right? Forget all us young guys. All young guys, just be out there. We'll win the game, but I need you and your energy to help me do this. Do you know what I mean?
So that's what Pitt brought from Chicago and Chuck.
Yeah,
with
man, he's
that
just
level of
professional.
accountability. Yeah.
Like this in the gym, lifting, shooting, dissecting games, like just the angles on the court defensively teach you, and you be sitting like, wow, that's crazy.
Dope.
right? Like how he did those things. And he encouraged you to make mistakes. Just keep doing it. Don't worry about it. Shoot the
learn
next
from
one.
it.
Like those type of things.
Summer workout, summer training. MJ, Scottie, Charles, Hakeem, you had a lot of great people around you. Tim, what were those summer sessions like?
The best in the world. Houston, Texas, in 99, 2000, 2001, there was nothing. Ask KG. It was nothing better than that.
Is that Old Boys Runs? John
Lucas.
Lucas? That's what that was?
Yes.
Yeah, talk to us about.
Nothing.
Don't go 5 and then 5 back.
Yep.
It's not like a game of like 9. Like 5 go down and then you score it, then a new 5 come on. It's a little different.
Yeah. So what he would do is, so Avery Johnson started this one,
Okay.
the 5-on-5. And it would be Antonio McDyess, Tim Duncan, KG, me, Sam Cassell, Nick Van Exel, Steve Francis. I mean, you name it. The top of the top people were playing in this gym, and it was only one court to 9. So you better have your A game. Like, we're not playing these games. So not only were we playing physical and it was competitive, but then we would work out afterwards, right? So teaching you how to be a pro early, and then John Lucas would have like 5 on this side, 5 on this side, and 5 in the middle. So you score here, now you take the ball, now you go down the other, and then the next 5 come on. He would just rotate you like that, right? So he was amazing. I swear, man, God loved me so much, and still to this day, of course, that he put me in that position early in life. The more I think about it, you got John Lucas, who's a recovering addict. You have Scottie Pippen. You have all walks of life at your beck and call, so you can become your best version of yourself.
That's what I feel like the game misses now.
Yes.
Is that guidance, that leadership, the just the OGs there to kind of really lay out how it should be.
All day.
And that's how we came into the game.
All day.
After your rookie year, they trade for Steve. What's your guys' connection like off the rip? Obviously, you guys grew tremendous chemistry on the court, but what was that first interaction like?
You know, it started actually at the runs, Avery Johnson runs. So I'm gonna back it up a little bit. Michael Dickerson and I were the backcourt.
Michael Dickerson was
Fire.
cold.
Ooh, fire.
Man, go look up Michael Dickerson. Went to Arizona.
Listen, he was. Listen, this boy was so strong. He was warming up to 225.
Like a football player.
Bro, 1998 225 warm-ups, you can forget about it. We used to slap box all the time. That's my dude. So his father taught him boxing, the whole thing. So we had that in common. But I tell you, first of all, Mike's chest come way out here. His chest come way out here. He would warm up to 225, man. His pull-up game, his one dribble pull-up game was unbelievable. Mike was amazing. We in the summertime, we're in Maui. After our rookie year, we're in Maui. Me, Mike, GP, Jason Kidd, Doug, who was it? Sean Kemp put it on. It was kind of like he got ball challenge or something like that, right? So what the skills challenge is now? Detlef Shrimp started that in Maui, and he had sponsors, and it did so well. I won that event, by the way, just to let y'all know. So in Maui, all the dribbling, the shooting, the whole thing. So I won 4 out of the 5 events, and I won the whole thing. So then they had the models there. I remember Tyra Banks, the supermodel at the time, and all these different people.
So Detlef set that off?
Detlef did that, bro.
Ooh-wee.
Detlef did that, bro. That was Detlef Shrimp. And then the NBA took it and put it inside the skills challenge. Yep. So me and Mike are there, and we're rookies, right? We're just having fun. We're in Maui at the time, staying at the Grand Wale. Shout out to Grand Wale. It was like top hotel in the world at the time. I get a phone call. I'm eating breakfast. I'm with Tyson Wheeler because me and Tyson went out there. And Tyson was like, no, Tyson get the call. And Tyson was like, yo, Mike Dixon just got traded. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. And I went over to Mike, and Mike was like,
hurt. Ghost
face, bro. That's the first time I saw, like, this is a business. They traded Mike, got Steve, and I was sad, but Mike was very reserved too. So he wasn't like he was conservative. He wasn't like a hang with you all the time guy, but he was like he was my dude. But Steve came along in Maryland, Philly, East Coast. We just hit it off right away, bro. Right away. And then Avery put Steve and I on a team together, and we just worked our chemistry from the very start. And his mom had passed when he was 12. So then my mom was there, and then my family, and then his dad and his sister and his grandmom. So we all joined. Yeah, it was all family and his brothers, you know what I'm saying?
Obviously, instant chemistry off the court. When did that chemistry click on the court?
Because I knew how to play with other great players, it wasn't difficult for me, right? Playing with Rasheed Wallace, Alvin Williams, Kobe, Eddie Jones, Aaron McKee. Again, I remember I grew up on fear. So mine's just take the scraps. Whatever they don't do, do. Crash the board. If they shoot the ball, that's a rebound and a putback. You get an open shot, make use of it. Like that was my mentality, and I grew into more confident. But I was just be more of a compliment, right? Don't try to compete. Just be more of a compliment. Whatever he don't do, when you see him tired, go at him, let him rest, and then go back. That was my mindset.
Steve was different.
Oh God.
The explosiveness of him coming out of Maryland and same time as BD. I was a BD guy, and obviously him and Steve was neck and neck.
Neck, yeah.
But before up to that point, we really hadn't seen point guards like that. Now, you've seen the Russell Westbrooks and John Morants and Derrick Roses, but Steve was one of them first ones.
First ones, bro. Listen, he was so incredible. You play with somebody and then you learn something from them in the game? Like, that was Steve for me. Like, crashing the boards, just more effort in certain things. Steve it was games where Steve would get 17 rebounds. And Matt, when we played, now think about this. 7-footers all day long. That's what they get paid for.
And real power forwards, yeah.
Steve was literally getting 15, 17 rebounds some games on people. And I was sitting there like, this dude is relentless. So when they talk about like Derrick Rose and they talk about like, John Morant and Russell, and I love them. I love all of them. But Steve was different too now. That boy was serious. Him and BD, those type of guards, you never seen that before. Before those two, you never seen that before.
Nope.
There wasn't no type of point guards doing that. Before Steve Francis and Baron Davis, there wasn't no guards doing that.
Scary. They came in the same year, right?
Yep.
Same time.
Yep, same time.
Pick, right?
Yep. The whole thing. It's the craziest thing. It's not even Ebonics. It's the craziest. It's not even Ebonics.
Steve just said some shit about BD the other day on someone else's show, and I don't know if BD responded yet, but it was funny. It had people laughing. Like, they really
He just talk out of code.
Yeah, they were just.
You don't
different.
even understand what he's saying.
I believe it.
I'm like, wait, what? What did you just say? Dog, I'm sleepy, dog. Hit me tomorrow, dog. You tripping. I don't even feel like this mind game. It's just crazy, dog.
Yao
Ming.
Franchise told the story about ruining a summer vacation in 2002 because of Yao. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. So, all right. So, I didn't know about I'm still playing hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm still whatever. I don't know in the back office, we trying to get Yao Ming.
You don't know the tank. You don't know the
I don't
fixes
know.
in?
I don't know none of that. You know what I'm saying?
That was above your pay grade?
Yeah, I don't know none of that. So, boom, these start kind of explaining to us, we get this kid, this, that, whatever. And I'm like, Chinese kid? How big is he? 7'6". Really? Is he good though, coach? He said, yeah. So he started showing us films, this, that, whatever. So we had plans to like, summertime, we out. We ready to go have fun. He said, no, you cancel all that. Yao Ming coming. I said, come on, coach. Come on, dog. I play too hard for this. I got to go rest. Yao Ming coming. Cancel all your plans. I'm like, God damn it. So Yao show up. So Yao to me is like Hakeem Olajuwon. Like very still, stoic, steady, right? Nothing really rattle. If it does rattle, you don't know it. So not one time, but through a course of a period of time, just getting to know Yao, he's not really dominating, like dunking the ball and things like that, right? And I'm looking at him like, oh, dog, you too big. Like, I'm from North Philadelphia. So I'm like, yo, you need to be aggressive. You need to like break somebody's neck. So I'm cuss him out. It's little guards blocking his shot. It's like stuff like that. And I'm like, dog, this is crazy, dog. I can't deal with this. But I loved him because he was just a good dude. We play in Atlanta, bro. And Theo Rattler was, I think he was it was Theo. Man, he blocked his shot maybe twice. After that, Yao Ming put him in the basket I don't know how many times.
It seems like he was just really getting down.
Yao Ming comes right back to dunk it. And a technical foul on Yao.
A taunting foul on Yao, and his teammates love it.
He was so, maybe he's mad at me. I don't know. He's probably mad at me because you know how I get. I get a little crazy. I don't mean to. I'm passionate. You know, but maybe he's mad at me, but we came back and beat them, and Yao Ming showed me a different version of himself. And from then on, Yao was just like dominate every. And what people don't understand about Yao, he can pass the ball. Like Joker, he could have done that. It's just our offense didn't. If he had Rick Adelman, for a fact, you'd have seen more of Yao Ming. Like that Chris Webber, that Vlade Divac, Brad Miller passing.
He had all that.
He had all of it.
I remember. I want to say I remember watching his first matchup against Shaq, and he held his own. Right?
Yes.
He had a good game.
He blocked Shaq twice.
Yeah.
Shot twice.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there looking like, yep, that's him. Yeah, we can go far with this dude.
Yeah.
Like he turned it up a notch.
Tell us about that team. I mean, what? Tell me about that team.
So that team to me, right?
Who was your guys' starting five?
It was me, Yao, Steve, Jim Jackson, and Calvin Cato. That was our starting five. Right? So we were actually at that time, we were third in the history of NBA defense efficiency, right? We were stopping everybody. But the only thing is that coach would stop us on the offense, right? Instead of us letting us play on offense, he played kind of like that Pat Riley back in the day possession ball. So with 70-something possessions, that's it. We're going to make this ugly. Where if you have talented individuals on the other side, now you're making us think, right? But offense is not about thinking when it comes. It's like it has to be like more fluid, you know? And especially when you have people that can score easy. So we were thinking more, just a lot of that. But so that team, to me, we played the Lakers 9 times that year.
Damn.
5-4 Lakers. 9 times that year. And Lakers went on to lose in the championship against Detroit. But that's my favorite team when it came to feeling comfortable defensively, right? And then having enough firepower offensively. Because that was Jeff Van Gundy's first year. So he was a little more strict because me and Steve, he was like, yo, you like maniacs. You guys are crazy. You guys do anything, right? And later on in life, he understood that like he should have had more patience when it came to that. But at that time, Steve and I were out of control. We were out of control. Like we were idiots.
Talk about what KG spoke to. Was it 5 shake?
1 shake.
1 shake.
So 1 shake, 2 shake.
Yeah.
1 shake, 2 shakes. So we put you on the island. So whoever it is,
whoever's cooking.
Yeah, whoever's cooking. And you know the thing what Rudy would do is if you score, I don't care. Me and Steve, if you score, we are giving it back to you. Let them do them again.
That's old school.
Look, we got you. Do them again. Kill them. You tired? All right, it's my turn.
Yeah.
That's what we would do. So we would call 1 shake, 2 shake, and this is how Steve would. Some of Steve, it wasn't as serious because he'll shake somebody. He'll miss the shot. Come back, we up 2 or down 1. He'd be like, yo, you see how I killed him? I'm like, dog, would you concentrate on winning the game? What's the matter with you? Are you crazy?
Hey,
but that wiggle was crazy. You see how I made him jump?
Hey, he put Troy Hudson in the trick bag that one time.
Dog, when he came over to the bench afterwards.
Holy shit.
He's like, yo, Ace, that was crazy, wasn't it? I got him on the first one. He bit the second one. How you do that? Like, he's sitting on the bench telling me this. I'm like.
In the middle of the game.
In the middle of the game, man. I swear, man.
Shit.
So coach would come over like, yo, all right, end of the game. He'd be like, who won it? Steve was like, I don't even feel like good. Cat, you won it this time? Like that was our team. That's how it was. Moochie, you won it?
Yeah, don't forget about Moochie now.
Yo, Moochie Norris was crazy.
Yeah, he
Moochie
get a
Norris
bucket.
was crazy, bro.
Was he?
Our team was insane.
Burnt out.
No,
huh?
it was insane. And I was the only one. Listen, for me, dog, I wasn't as crazy, but I was a part of the craziness.
You were in the mix.
It was just crazy. Moochie, dog, he would have half his hair braided, and then there was a fro on this half. He would have glitter, and we come from different cities, all on his face. Like, Mooch was crazy. Our team was just insane. It didn't matter.
Fun.
It didn't matter. No, yeah, he couldn't sleep.
Yeah, he was first. I think he's officially the first person that got win on the injured reserve.
Because he couldn't sleep. Yep, that was Moo.
Really?
That was Moo. But we used to do some crazy. Listen, our team was so crazy at that time, dog. If you meet a girl in the city, you can bring her on the plane.
No holds barred.
No,
So
listen.
there's no wives then on the
Moochie,
plane.
bro, no, we ain't nobody have wives back
Okay.
then.
Yeah.
It
you
wasn't
can
no
hey,
old dude.
Because you can never
It
bring
wasn't no old dude.
You can never bring work on the plane ever.
No, listen, brought the work on the plane.
God damn it. I needed to be on
Brought
that
the
team.
work on the plane, bro.
That's crazy.
I was sitting
That's
looking
unheard
like,
of.
I'm just staring at her like, you even know what you're doing? What are you getting yourself into? This is crazy, sweetheart.
This is
Who's your
crazy,
father?
sweetheart. I've never heard
crazy.
of work coming on the team plane. That's
Dog,
unbelievable.
crazy, bro.
They don't
We
even
used to
want
have
work
fun.
in the family rooms.
Bro, it was
Fuck
funny.
the family rooms.
I think we messed it up. That's what it probably was.
Fucked it
Yeah,
up.
they stopped it all. They stopped it all. They stopped it. You seen the older women looking at you that had
Yeah,
husbands like, you better
oh,
stay away from my
man.
husband.
What?
I'm telling you right now. I was like, Mama, I don't
Causing
want
so
no
many
problems.
fights at the crib.
Yeah, y'all boring over there.
That's crazy. IG lately, you've been talking to your IG fans deeply about
Mm-hmm.
women and life. And that's one thing I've always liked about you too, just you're a deep thinker.
Mm-hmm.
And you've really been on that right now. Talk to us a little bit about what you've been on lately. Just that spirit, that energy, and
Yeah. So I go to my calling, right? Being single, actually for now 5 years, but I go to my calling, right? I'm not a prisoner to my emotions, right? And I think that's satisfying to me. So when I'm speaking to individuals, I was there once, right? So I'm most qualified of the person I used to be to coach, right? So when I'm watching certain people go through certain things, all I'm doing is trying to, and again, this is no hatred towards women, there's no hatred towards moms, no hatred towards whatever it is. It's just that I'm giving you my experience, and I think if I can help men really focus on their emotions and their actions, it helps you better in life. So when I'm speaking, I want everybody, male and female, to be their best version of themselves, right? And we get in situations in life, like for me, I can't blame my kid's mother for the things that happen in life because I chose her. I could have walked away and never had children, right? Whether it's my oldest or the youngest kid's mom. It's not their fault, right? It's my situation that I didn't have boundaries in, or I didn't do this, or I didn't do that. So when you choose these individuals, where were you at mentally, right? So now we have to take more accountability. You turn the ball over and a guy can't catch the ball, he missed layups, right? Whose fault? It's not his for not catching it, it's yours for throwing it, right? So I look at life like that. So now I have to be more accountable and more understanding that, okay, I chose that, so now I have to live with that. How do I limit those mistakes? Okay, now I got to stop thinking, then I got to pray about this one. Okay, don't do that because this can happen. Yeah, it may not happen, but the percentage of this happen, if you drive drunk a whole bunch of times,
Good
you
chance.
might not get, but then guess what? Sooner or later, it's going to catch up to
how
you.
do you limit the mistakes on your side though, and your faults? Obviously, being understanding that you put yourself in a situation, but we're still constantly evolving and learning,
yeah.
and so how do you manage that?
I think this is just for me, right? I think when you have if you have a why, how doesn't matter, right? So my why is my kids, right? And I've been through the fight, whether it's my oldest at the time where, I'm bumping heads with his mom when he was younger, to her and I love her to death now, right? And then my youngest, right? Bumping heads with her and spending all this money and I get custody of the kids and blah, blah. And it's like, all right, they showed you, just like Scottie Pippen and Charles Barkley and Hakeem Olajuwon and Rudy Tomjanovich and all these people showed you and said, I love you. The universe said, I love you. This is what I'm giving you, right? The universe still says, I love you. I'm going to give you difficult situations so you can learn from. It's not just always good.
Absolutely.
So I think that's what me is that my why is my kids.
Back to basketball real quick. The Clippers. You were on one of the early teams that kind of broke through in L.A. What was that team like?
Funny as hell, dog.
This is, what year? Six?
05, 06.
Yeah.
So you had Sam Cassell. Sham, boy. Elton Brand, Corey Maggette.
Chris Kaman.
Chris was the smartest person off the court and probably the slowest on the court. Like, I love Chris,
And he
bro.
had game, though.
He had all the game, but couldn't pass out the double team. The
Yeah,
craziest
struggled.
thing. Struggle.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I never understood that. But Chris was super smart. That team was a really good team. We had a really
Sean
good
Livingston.
team. Sean Livingston. My guy. Shout out to Sean. I love him so much. Like, he was special, especially if he didn't have his injuries. Like,
Were you
Sean,
there? That was before his injury?
No, I gave him the ball. I stripped the ball, threw it ahead to him. He's on the break, tears his knee up. So I don't know if it was the energy or what. I don't know what the hell happened. But that was just, it was crazy that happened.
What was he like prior to his injury? Because he was young, fresh out of high school.
Amazing.
He had so much game.
Sean was super mature. He was like older than his age. Always listened, right? Stayed chill. Like, he wasn't like very, like a lot of young guys, especially back then, being All-American and not just a high school All-American, but like top point guard in the country. And it's like so much stuff going on and living in LA. And he wasn't that. He was very chill and, very stoic, very, like confident with himself, right?
Old soul.
Yes, old soul. That was Sean. And always picking your brain, asking you certain stuff. Like, that was Sean. So, to this day, it's my guy. I haven't spoken to him in a while, but that's my guy. But we had a team. Rasheed Wallace hated Mike Dunleavy, right? Call him Mike Dumb-Levy, right? He hated him. A couple of guys did. And I didn't hate Mike, right? Mike was my guy. But Mike overthought the game. And the team that we had, we could have went farther if he didn't get in the way with himself. Sometimes coaches get in their own way. People do in general.
in life.
But especially when you're a coach. Like, I think personally, just to say this one, and I could be so wrong. The way Duke played when they had the lead, and then the way they played when Cooper went out, is totally different. The way Houston played when they had the lead, and then in the second half, the way they played, right? It's like you focus more on defense opposed to like really scoring. It's like sometimes you overthink it and get in your own way. Detroit Lions coach, you get in your own way. And Mike got in his own way with our team. And the next year, guys got injured. I think Elton tore something happened.
Achilles.
Yeah, something happened. And we missed. That's when we
When
believe
we made
won.
the playoffs.
Yeah.
So you guys it was in your court. Like, if you guys won, we were out.
Yep.
And you guys happened to lose. It should have been a team
So
you guys should have beat, right?
Yep. So it was 5 games left. I popped my calf against New York. Elton's out. Popped my calf. We only have to win 1 game. We don't win none of them. And then you guys get in.
We snuck in.
Yep.
The last game, we beat the
Then y'all
Blazers.
played Dallas, right?
You guys lost to, who'd you guys lose to? It was a team you guys were supposed to beat, too. We couldn't believe we heard you guys lost.
I don't even know. But I was out.
Yeah.
I
That
was
was
out.
crazy. Fast forward a little bit, health issues. Talk to us about that. I mean, you had to step away from the game. 20-point-a-game score. Clutch. Defense. You did it all. And, you didn't get to go out on your terms, so to speak.
Yeah. Listen, I appreciate. Listen, we have a brotherhood, right? That they can't erase, right? That I always have. I love this fraternity we have. But it was a misdiagnosis, right?
Talk to us about that.
I didn't know that. So I came into the league. It was called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, which is HCM. The acronym is HCM. And at that time, early on, 98, 99, it's athlete's heart, right, mixed with the thickness of the heart. So if this is your heart, the walls they're thicker. So the blood can't flow through. And if it doesn't flow through to the brain, it cuts off and you can die automatically. Well, that wasn't my issue. Mine was just athlete's heart, right, mixed with hypertension. And I didn't find that out until 2010, right? But at that time, I'm signing contracts every single year because I had the #1 cardiologist in the world. His name was Anthony Pacifico. He passed away on a private jet back in like 2004. So after that, it was problems for me. No, well, not with the Clippers, but it was problems for me if I had to go anywhere else because he had just greenlit, okay, the Clippers is fine, 2005. Clippers is fine. And it shocked me because I never thought of it being an issue. And I was asymptomatic. That means you have no symptoms, right? It wasn't like I was passing out and I had to take medicine. It was none of that. So I was heartbroken for a little bit because I thought I had a lot more in the tank. And actually, my very last game I ever played was against OKC. I had 27. And I was just getting in the groove, and it was me and BD on teams together. It was the first time I was on team with BD. And, I was in I was like kind of like a revenge tour of like, that last year.
How old were you at this point?
31.
Oh, man.
Yeah, 31. Yeah, 31, 32, almost 32. But I was in that revenge tour of like, I got a point guard with me that going to run the floor and give me that ball because BD loved to pass it. And after 4 games, that was the 4th game.
This with the Knicks, right?
No. I was with
Clippers still?
Clippers, yeah.
Okay.
I was the Clippers. So I got traded to the Knicks.
Okay.
And then they shelved me. The Knicks shelved me. So when the Knicks shelved me, it put me in a, again, manifestation, right? I didn't want to leave L.A. So I'm like, you know what? I might as well just retire. Like, there's no reason to even be, I was thinking it. So when thinking that, now you got to be careful what you wish for because now this situation can do that to you. So that situation occurred, and I started going to, I had to go to Mayo, and then I had to go to Minnesota, and I had to go all these places to get like these different health, tests or whatever. And then come to find out, I'm here at UCLA, and then I'm at Cedars, and then my doctor at Cedars says, you know what, go to the eye doctor and let him check your eyes. So then I go to the eye doctor and say, oh, you have hypertension. But he only found it out because the guy at Cedars saw my dad's history. And they said, well, let's check if it's that. Because, see, in hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, what it does is it's the thickening of the walls in your heart. And like I said before, the circulation doesn't go up. If you have that, it stays forever. If you don't have it, and it may be it may be hypertension mixed with like athlete's heart, the walls will become thinner because your muscle, the heart's a muscle, and it expands, right, if you work out more. But if you don't have it, it shrinks back down to normal, which mine did. So there's a certain amount of genetic genes that carry if you have HCM. I had none of them. So I had to go at UCLA. I had to go there just so my kids, so I can understand that my kids, I don't pass it on to them. So that's how I had to find that out. But it took 1.5 years, almost 2 years, to find all that out.
And then
So
by that time,
it was a tough thing for me because then I'm watching guys play and knowing I can play.
Absolutely.
But yeah, in the back of my head, they're saying if you play, you're gonna die, and I'm like, wait, what? Yeah, so it was tough for me.
What was that transition like for you?
It was hard, man, because as much as I wanted to be a businessman, I wasn't ready to actually jump right into it. It's kind of like, yeah, you want to be a dad, but then all of a sudden the baby's here. It's like, I don't even know what this really means now. This is crazy, right? Like, I got to take care of this, right? I got to take care of me. I got to be the best version of myself so he can. You don't know that. You're just like, every single day you're trying to figure it out. And that's just a parent in general, right?
Absolutely.
So that was like being a new parent to something and that you really had to focus on.
Quick hitters, first thing to come to mind, let me know. Top 5 lefties of all time.
James Harden, Chris Mullin, Manu Ginobili, Nick Van Exel. Oh.
Damn, that was impressive. That was impressive.
And then, I mean, David Robinson, of course.
Ooh. Jeez. Yeah. Hey, we just saw a highlight tape of David Robinson put in our group chat. That motherfucker was cold. I mean, I remember seeing him.
Who that?
David Robinson.
Oh, my God. He was insane.
David Robinson was so good, bro.
Oh, he was insane, dog. He was insane watching him.
MJ, Kobe, Bron, rank them. You got to play against all of them, didn't you?
Yeah. Old Mike, though. You know, I love Kobe so much. You can't tell me nothing different about Kobe. I'm sorry. Like, growing up, Mike was my GOAT, right?
Right.
Mike was the guy. But you ever watch Weird Science?
Mm-hmm.
And I know this is a quick hitter, but you ever watch Weird Science and you got to build someone? You build LeBron. You don't build Kobe or Mike. You build LeBron. And that's why I think there's LeBron, there's Kobe, then there's Mike.
Really?
To me.
I've never heard that order before. I'm not mad at that. Interesting. One album you can listen to on repeat.
Wu-Tang Clan, 36 Chambers.
Shout out to RZA. 5 dinner guests, dead or alive.
Muhammad Ali, Sidney Poitier, John F. Kennedy, Dick Gregory, and then I would say Frank Sinatra.
Solid. It is.
It's special, bro. I mean, you don't really understand a lot of what he went through for, like, America and for people. And that's why they silenced him. But just his intelligence. And then he comes from that background, a political background. So what he saw, explaining those things, is the perspective of itself to me is like, okay, I get it, why you did this, right? Because he could have went the other route. He could have, it's easier to do the other thing, right? It's like the Bushes, right, where it's like you're Republican, you got to stay like this, you got to like. He's like, nah, I'm cool. Nah, I'm going to use gold as reserve. I want to go to, it's just certain things, you just want to listen to him. You know what I'm saying?
One guest you would like to see on our show.
That's hard. I had everybody.
I've been talking to your man. Help me. You still talk to Steve?
Oh, yeah.
Help us. I tell him, bro, we'll fly you out, put you up. Come fuck with us.
Yeah. Steve would be great. You just never know what Steve going to say. Steve, God damn, you got to censor some of that shit. He be talking in alien codes and shit. Yeah, but no, I love, so there's different people that I listen to on a regular basis. And I think, did you do Mahmoud Raouf?
Mm-hmm. We just did Craig Hodges too, not too long ago.
Yeah, both of them. But yeah, I don't know. Gino from UConn.
Oh, Arbiema.
Yeah.
One of the greatest coaches ever.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Gino Davis. I was like, we don't want to interview that motherfucker.
Yeah. No, Gino coaches, I think he's special. Right?
Yeah.
The reason why I say that is because he's been dealing with females his whole life. And being able to get the best out of them and hold them accountable.
That's why the way he had them women playing, man.
But no, think about it like this though. Relationship-wise.
Yeah, different.
Holds women accountable. Like he's able to do that and say, I don't care about your tears. Do what I told you to do. Stop being selfish. Like those, I would love to pick his brain. Mm-hmm. I want to hear, how do you do that? And they love you still.
Use some of those principles in life?
Yes, goddammit. Jeez Louise. It's crazy.
Cap, man, I appreciate your time. Congratulations on just an amazing career and just the man you are overall. Always a stand-up dude to me, man, and I wish you nothing but the best, bro.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks for coming through.
Man.
No doubt.
Yes, sir.
It's a wrap. You can catch this on all the Smoke Productions YouTube and the DraftKings Network. We'll see y'all next week.